Welcome back to the Popcorn Perspective. It's your host Jay and AK. AK, did you know average Americans spend $45 on streaming services every month?
That's ridiculous.
No,
It
right?
makes sense. I'm trying to do the math right now in my head. I mean, I think with Disney and Hulu is about $16. Netflix has like 1,001 price hikes a
Yeah.
day. There's Amazon Prime. There's HBO Max, Peacock. Now there's Apple TV. It's
Yeah.
confusing.
And, and then there's Crunchyroll if you watch anime like me, and
hmm
there's
I
so
think there's
many
USA
add-ons.
channel now. There is AMC if you want to get the AMC contents. If you're a big like Walking Dead fan, it's it's a lot. It's a lot to
Yeah.
juggle. It's a lot to keep an eye on.
All right, so should we get to the main topic? What
No, yeah,
streaming
definitely.
service we
Yeah,
think is the best?
yeah. I have a feeling I can guess yours, but I want to hear your thought process. What is your favorite streaming service?
Okay, cool. So I think there are actually a lot of solid streaming services out there. And actually, if we look at the numbers real quick, Netflix leads it. Obviously, they've been in the game the longest. They have 282 million users. That's
Wow.
incredible. And I think what really helped Netflix was doing that one house policy or whatever. It
hmm
sucks for us consumers. I totally agree. But they did see a rise in their subscriptions. So it really did work out for them.
Which is
W-
kind of annoying because a lot of people online, and there was a whole movement when they made that one house policy
there
that they're like,
was.
and it's, I'm not saying it's bad on Netflix side because I'm not going to make a opinionated judgment. You can take, you can
Yeah,
predict what my mindset is on that, but I was kind of hoping that that movement would have actually had some legs and
backfired.
forced
Mm.
a lot of the other companies to realize like, hey, we can't piss off the consumers, but unfortunately the consumers didn't band together.
I'm totally with you because I'm kind of concerned with the other streaming services on what they do now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a we need to wait and see kind of thing.
Exactly.
And second, the the one that came in second place, that one actually surprised me, which is Amazon Prime. And I think the only reason for that is because freaking everyone has Prime now.
Exactly what I was gonna say. People use
So they have
Amazon
like,
for everything.
yeah. So that's at 230 million subscribers, and
I'm kind of wondering though, like of those 230 million subscribers to
how many
Amazon
actually?
Prime, how
Yeah,
many are active watchers of Amazon Prime TV or like movies or
yeah.
like the actual video streaming side of
The
things?
thing though is with Amazon Prime, I think they bought this free service, Freevee or something like that.
Hmm.
So a lot of people who want to just get some free content as well will go on it just to watch some live TV.
Oh, I never heard
So
that. That's interesting.
yeah, they're definitely trying stuff, and they also have what's that Thursday night football? They still do
hmm
that sometimes.
I mean,
So I guess
Netflix does too now. You know that Netflix now
yeah.
has football games and they have UFC, right? Or is it WWE? Which one?
No, it's the fake. It's the WWF or whatever.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's interesting that Netflix and Amazon are both moving into live content, and
Yeah, that's where the money is.
but it's kind of, isn't that the whole point of cable was
Cable
the
cutting.
live, and now we went away from that to streaming
Right.
service all the way back to it's weird.
Well, dude, life is a circle. Shit comes back.
But I'm curious though, like what would be third place then on the user
Yeah,
list?
so third place at 158 million. So that's quite a big drop off in my opinion between the two Netflix and Prime because I was like over 230.
Hmm.
It's at 158 million. It's Disney Plus. So I'm guessing that's Disney Plus and Hulu combined because
Hmm.
most people combine it. So
Yeah.
I think though from what I had seen recently, Disney is the one of the faster growing services. So I think they're capitalizing on a lot of market share.
Well, because they also have the ESPN bundle and the Hulu bundle, so they have a
Yeah,
lot of great bundles out there. Plus, they had that 99 cents deal that happened back in Christmas, right? Or was it New Year's?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He also had that HBO Max deal, if I'm not mistaken. Right? It was like three
Oh,
of
did
them.
Did yeah, HBO Max, Hulu, and Disney Plus for like a
Yeah,
group. I think it's like $20
it's
group
like
package
16.99 or some
or was
shit
that
like that. Yeah,
16.99?
yeah.
Yeah, which was a pretty. I kind of wish
That's a
I
good
jumped on
deal.
that because
Yeah.
I didn't know about it until after the deal was done, and I was like, oh, that
Okay.
was kind of cool.
Yeah, and then towards the bottom, I think you have HBO, and I think that was a lot of people left after um, Game of Thrones. And
Oh,
then I don't think a lot of people capitalized on the what came after Game of Thrones? House of Dragon.
House of the Dragons, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it pumped their numbers up as expected.
But then also they have that issue when because they were bought out by Warner Brothers and they made a
Mm,
big switch on apps from like HBO Go now Max to just Max and
yeah, yeah.
Warner.
I
Yeah,
think they finally settled on whatever their name is now.
yeah, because there was a time when there was like 60 HBO apps out there. Confusing.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of like using an Android for messaging.
Hey, that is true. That's one thing
Nah,
Apple does have on top of us. I'll give them
yeah.
that.
Nah, I think Google is like
Getting there.
conforming to
Yeah.
Google Messages. And lastly is Paramount. Makes sense. 72 million. I don't even know what's on Paramount, honestly.
Besides Parks and Rec.
That's Peacock.
Oh, Paramount. Yeah, what is on Paramount?
No idea. Probably Star Trek, if I'm not
Oh yeah, I
mistaken.
think they do own some of the Star Trek content.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting that Prime and Netflix are that much ahead of the competition. That's very interesting
Mm.
to see. I thought maybe HBO would be top two or something, but that's interesting that Prime and Netflix holds a spot still.
And so I think looking at the list there, mine is probably going to be Amazon Prime that I lean towards as probably being one that you should pay for.
Okay, so that's right now it's
And
like one of your favorites that you're
yeah,
using.
yeah, I think the content they produce is just at such an incredibly high level.
Hmm.
Fallout was just phenomenal.
That is
I
true.
loved that show. And then they also have Invincibles, which is a top tier animated show. They have The Boys. They
Hmm.
have some great movies on it too that I can't really think of right now. But I also like their integration. So Amazon Prime does a really good job with integrating with other services. So if you pay for Crunchyroll, you can access it through Amazon Prime.
Oh
And
wow,
if you pay for Apple, you can access it online, like through their same setup. I think they've done a very good job with trying to create that one
seamless
ecosystem
integration.
kind of look. So my pick is Amazon Prime.
No, I gotta say, of all the streaming services, I think Amazon Prime is definitely the most worth the money. Now, it's not my favorite streaming service of, the recent years I've
Mm.
been using, but I do think it's probably the best worth money because on top of just the movie, you do get Amazon Music, you have a little bit Kindle subscription added to that,
Right.
and you have obviously Amazon Shopping, which it's honestly a great umbrella of stuff that's
For the
included,
price, yeah.
yeah, for the subscription. Now, I did say, like, for me, it's HBO Max, or Max, they call it now. That is my favorite, at least for 2024. I think I used it the most, or second most. It might be tied with Disney Plus, like, usage-wise, but I think Max has just shows that caught me off guard that I had no anticipation, no expectations for, like, Penguin. I mean, I liked the Batman movie. Robert Pattinson killed it, but I really had no anticipation or no like real like if it comes out if it's good I'll watch it. But Penguin was amazing. It blew me away. Same as Creature Commander. I mean I didn't really care that James Gunn was starting his DCU
Hmm.
by an animated project. I was like, that's kind of weird, but it was a great show. So I think, honestly, I think Max is killing it for me. I know we had that blunder with House of the Dragons, but I'm hoping they
Yeah.
redeem themselves with the Knights of the Seven Kingdom, which comes out in April, which is about Duncan the Tall, based on the novellas. Great novellas. If you haven't read them, Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, they're fantastic short stories. But I'm hoping they redeem the Westeros world by that show. But I'm liking Max right now.
Max is good. Max has some solid stuff, as you just mentioned. Um, I think for me, it was just at a certain time before they came up with some of these good shows, there was a good period where they were just regurgitating
Nothing.
like the say old movies and stuff like that. That Harry Potter, I think, and
Hmm.
Lord of the Rings, and that's primarily what I was watching it for. But I think their slate is becoming better.
Yeah, I think after the Game of Thrones ended and Westworld ended, well, canceled, sadly. But those like the big shows, right before Warner Brothers bought HBO, and then once that buyout took place, there's a lot of like cuts that was made, a lot of shows that were canceled. And then it seems like finally the two companies now the ownership I guess is finally settled. I think things are finally coming out high quality again.
Yeah, for sure. And with James Gunn, it's like you know the DC shit is gonna be good.
Oh yeah,
So
and that's one thing I'm actually going to mention because I have a feeling because Max owns all of the DC umbrella.
mhm.
What I think is going to happen is whenever a movie within the DC universe gets released, whether it be 2, 3, 4 months, however long they want to wait, it's automatically going to go on HBO Max. Unlike the issue I have with Disney Plus, is a lot of the Disney MCU movies take a long time to appear on Disney Plus, and once it is on Disney Plus, if it's a Spider-Man project or if Spider-Man's in it, you have a high percent chance that Sony's gonna cause some BS and it's gonna leave Disney Plus for 6, 7 months, and then it'll come back for a
Yeah,
month. And
that's true.
I know it's because of contractual, like legal rights and all that, but I think Max, at least you can guarantee whatever's within that umbrella is going to stay on that network until Max breaks up, which I don't see that happening anytime soon. So that's the only issue I have with Disney Plus versus like what Max has. I definitely can't wait to see how they utilize, I guess, the whole DC umbrella.
Yeah, so you touched on Disney.
Yeah.
Disney 2020 to 2023, I think
Hmm.
I really liked it. They had The Mandalorian, and then they had all the great movies. I think for a while, Disney was my go-to, but man, I can't really remember the last time I logged into Disney. Hulu, I still do. I really like Hulu. They have some great stuff. Like they have some anime like Bleach and
Yeah.
a few others that I can't remember right now. But for those reasons, I do go back. Oh yeah, they have Dragon Ball Daima, if I'm not mistaken. So
I don't know. Hot take, Disney might be my second favorite streaming service. I'm a sucker for
okay,
all the MCU content, the good and the bad. I'll definitely admit when like a show is bad. Like you and I didn't really care for Echo, but I enjoyed it every week. I knew it wasn't a great show, but I just love the universe. I just love what Disney has created within the MCU bubble. Um,
that show pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie.
like what if? What if is not a
What if
brilliant.
it's great? Yeah,
Yeah, it's not a great written show. There's a lot of plot holes within their what if story, but
but it's
it's
fun.
just super fun. Like,
Yeah.
have you seen season 3?
No, I haven't.
No? It
Yeah,
is the last season, which is kind of sad, but like they have Kingo, from Internals, played by Kamal Nanjiani,
yeah.
have an Indian dance off with Catherine Hahn's Agatha. Bollywood style, with she was doing her classical 70s or 60s era music, and they were
That's
going at it. It was
funny.
the most randomest shit ever. It's wonderful. I love it. You had Mech Suit Avengers versus Godzilla Hulk.
Oh my gosh.
It's dumb, but I eat all of it up. Like even Acolyte, it wasn't a well written show. I loved the shit out of it. I'm mad that Disney canceled it because I enjoyed even the worst parts of the show to even the best parts of the show. I ate everything up, and
Mhm.
I'm just easy to please when it comes to like Marvel and Star Wars related stuff, but I'm just a sucker for it. I loved everything they've released so far, and I think that's why Disney Plus is my second, because I'll admit they're not high quality shows. I just enjoy them.
Okay. Hey, no, we all have our guilty pleasures, and it's not that. It's not terrible
Yeah,
to where I'd make fun of someone for liking the Acolyte or something, but
yeah,
it's still content. Like it's decent,
and
and that's why they have 158 million people.
yeah. One thing I've got to say about Disney Plus though is and I think Max did this when a couple years ago. I don't think they've done it since. But y'all gotta stop removing shows and content that you yourself produced. You're not paying anything to keep your project
Yeah,
on.
that's
They
weird.
got rid of like Willow. I know Max got rid of Westworld. HBO Max got rid of Westworld. Westworld is even though season three suffered and season four has like minor issues. I love season four. Even though y'all canceled it without finishing season five, keep it on your streaming
Hmm.
service. Same as Willow. It wasn't a amazing show, but I enjoyed it. It was a cute show. If you watch the movies, the movie that movie was far better, obviously. But you have you bring back the same actor. What's his name? Warwick Davis, who's such a fantastic actor. Like he was mad that they got rid of it. Like he came out and he's been with Disney forever, and he came out and spoke against Disney that y'all gotta stop removing shit. Like that's ridiculous. And it's sad to see like actors that are like they work so hard, they are so joyful for a project
Yeah,
only for it to be
it's
off the streaming service, and you just can't watch it anywhere now. It's gone.
right.
They
And
didn't make a DVD.
that's the thing with digital. You never truly own anything.
Yeah, because unlike when you own the DVD or Blu-ray, you can just pop it in and watch it
Yeah.
whenever. And that's an issue. Like shows like Willow, it didn't get a DVD release. I don't think Westworld got a
No.
DVD release. So like you just can't watch it unless you watch it illegal sites. Which is that what they're encouraging? Do they want us?
Sometimes it feels that way, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels that way. So Netflix for me, it's comfort. I've had it forever. Once I get onto it, I know I'll spend 30 minutes looking for something and then I'll end up putting something I've already seen,
Yeah.
like Kim's Convenience or any other show that I've seen a million times. Oh, Schitt's Creek. Yeah, that's a go-to. It's like so, and I also have my issues with Netflix where they do cancel a little too quickly for my
Yeah.
liking. But for the most part, there are shows that I do wait for, movies I do wait for. Shows like Stranger Things are top tier. There's such good shows. Yes, it takes 5 years in between every season, which sucks, but I still watch every season intently.
I think that is probably my biggest issue with Netflix. I know other streaming services are just as bad at this, but when you have to wait 5 years for a new season, I forget
Yeah.
everything that happens, and I'm more or less encouraged. I'm like, I've already seen the show once. I don't want to rewatch 5 seasons worth of content just to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And I do end up tuning out. Now Stranger Things is a show I have not yet tuned out on, but there's been shows I can't think off the top of my head that tells you how much 13 Reasons Why is one of them. But like season two, I just gave up and just stopped watching it because I'm like it was too far apart, and I'm just like at that point it was just like I never keep watching this. And
Yeah.
when you have
I
a
get
long
that.
gap, there's so many other shows that fills the bubbles, and I get too
Yeah.
invested in other shows to get reinvested in something else.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think they also have some good original movies, like they Know the Home series. It's
Oh yeah,
really
that was good.
fun. I really
I think
like
they do
it.
number three.
Yeah, it seems like it. And then there's also another one, Damsel. That was a pretty fun, dumb movie.
I've
But
not seen that. Yeah, I heard of it.
yeah, it's pretty good. It's Millie Bobby Brown. She does a
Hmm.
very good job with it. But they do have quality stuff. And I think for me, that's why it's still something that I pay for.
Now, one
Should
thing
I
I
keep
am,
paying for it? Probably not.
I mean, going back to the numbers you mentioned, you said what 282 million subs on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm very shocked about like that number itself. I know it's been around the longest, but when
Yeah.
was the last time you seen a Netflix advertisement?
Some companies don't need to advertise.
Yeah, but I feel like if they advertised the shows like Chaos, for instance, I did not see one advertisement on Chaos. The only reason why I knew about that show is not Jeff Goldblum, it's not any of the countless of fantastic actors in that show. It was Harold. I cannot pronounce his last name. But his daughter is in the show, Aurora. Harold was I can't like I said I can't pronounce his last name. I can't remember it. It starts with P. But he was in Lost, and I follow him on Twitter, and he posted my
Hmm.
daughter's in this upcoming show with Jeff Goldblum. Chaos. I was like, oh, Jeff Goldblum playing an Olympic god, and or his daughter's in it. I was like, oh, cool. Like, that's kind of that seems like an
Yeah.
interesting concept. the fact that a dad of an actress has to advertise for your company is kind of sad. Like Netflix, you
It
have so much
is.
money.
It is. And I think Netflix uses their landing page as their advertisement because as soon as you
Yeah.
enter it, it starts playing random shit that you think will be interesting, kind
Yeah,
of.
but I know they have 282 million subscribers, but the thing is not everybody watches those like clips. Sometimes it's in the
Agree.
background and they're talking, it's in the background, it's background noise. Would if they have like a commercial like on any sporting events, Chaos out February 8th with Jeff Goldblum and you just have a couple clips, you can
Agree.
have a
Yeah.
30-second ad spot. People be like, "Oh, Jeff Goldblum is playing a Zeus?" That I have to see. That's a wild concept. It's a wild concept that worked that we will never get season 2 from. So that's my biggest issue with Netflix when it comes to marketing side of things.
I definitely agree, though.
Yeah.
It's pretty trash.
But like you said, I guess they don't have to market when you have 282 million subscribers. So I guess when you have that amount of people in your bubble, how much more can you gain, right?
Yeah.
I think Netflix is right now just trying to retain them and trying to make sure they don't leave. I don't think they care about getting new
Hmm.
people anymore, which is sad for some of the smaller shows like Chaos and stuff. But
We'll see. Yeah, I think they still have pretty decent growth, but I think it was because they switched the way that we do subscriptions.
hmm
Yeah, I think those are the main ones we want to talk about, right? There were a few
yeah,
smaller ones I wanted to bring up real quick. So there was a YouTube channel. They were College Humor. They transitioned to Dropout, but they also created their own streaming service, Dropout, which
TV, right?
yeah. I highly recommend checking it out. Their content is so good. They put
Do you
so much
have
effort into it.
you had the subscription?
I had it, but I'll see I'm redoing it.
Okay. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
was actually thinking of subscribing to it. I watched their stuff on YouTube, some of their shorts
yeah.
and all that, and they are hilarious. So I was
They're
thinking of
so
supporting
talented.
them. That's good. Yeah.
Their D&D stuff is brilliant. They also have some game shows that are really fun.
Yeah, Sam Rice has definitely created amazing network from what I could tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And then there's another YouTube group. They're from New Zealand, VLDL, Viva La Dirt League. So they came up with Viva Plus, and also their content. They put so much effort into it,
They do.
and
It is
I
amazing.
highly recommend if you have money and you're thinking of, hey, should I get, I don't know, Disney, or
Paramount.
should I, yeah, Paramount, or should I split that same amount between these two people who don't charge that much? Support those guys. They're so good.
But
Lucky.
let us know down below if there's a show on a streaming service that we missed. Let us know which show we should watch. But other than that, I have nothing else to say.
Yeah. All right. Peace.
All right, peace out, you guys.